guys, I'm the Drink Pro. Today I'm with Nate and we're drinking the Master's Keep series from Wild Turkey. What's up, everybody? I'm the Drink Pro. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys are liking the videos. Please continue to like, subscribe, share the videos with your friends. And if you like the kind of content I'm putting out, please consider joining the Patreon. Today, we are drinking some great whiskeys from Wild Turkey, the Master's Keep series, with a special bonus that might not be from the series, but is still high-end Wild Turkey. I'm joined here by Nate Cooper, who has been on the channel a couple different times with some sample bottles that he sent me, but now I've decided to come to Ohio and drink whiskey right here with him. And he's been very generous, a great host. I recommend reaching out to him. His address is... Not gonna tell you that. He can, you can talk to him about that. But he's been very generous and shared several pours with me. We've got a variety of the Wild Turkey Master's Keep series. Now, Nate, I'm gonna let you walk through and explain what different pours we have in front of us today, and then we can start nosing and tasting.
So working our way from middle to edge, we have the Master's Keep 17 year, 86.6 proof. We've got the 60th Diamond Anniversary, and that's 91.1 proof here. So that's the one that's probably not Master's Keep, but still high end. It was handpicked.
This was picked by the master distiller.
This was picked by Eddie in honor of his father, Jimmy.
But okay. So this was picked by Eddie Russell in honor of his father, Jimmy Russell, when Eddie was the master distiller.
Correct.
Okay.
And this is a blend of 13 and 16-year-old bourbons.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
And then we've got the Decades. This is a blend of 10 to 20-year-old bourbons, 104 proof. Working our way out, we then have the Revival Oloroso cask, so in a sherry cask finish, 12 to 15 years, 101 proof, and then finishing it out with the Cornerstone Rye at 109 proof.
So we don't have the 17-year bottled and bond yet. We're going to get our hands on it, and I'll review it as soon as I can. But in the meantime, I wanted to line this up and try all of these and give you guys a sense of what's out there from the Master Keep series. I keep saying Master Keep. It's Master's Keep.
Yeah.
So this is the 86.6. Now, do we know? This is the 17-year. Okay, so this is all 17-year.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's a beautiful freaking nose.
Light, citrus, floral.
Yes. Yeah, I really get that citrus. The lemon zest really shows up.
Mm-hmm. Some orange for me.
Oh, yeah. I can hear the bugs hitting the lights.
You can hear the airplanes in the sky.
It's very soothing. It's very soothing.
Sometimes I pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. I really wish right now.
I get a really rich sweetness. Definitely you get that floral note right away, but as you let it kind of settle and you get used to it, it becomes much sweeter. I get a lot of like... To me, this is caramel. This is a real sweet... I get brown sugar and caramel.
I get Jolly Rancher cherry.
Really?
Yeah. So specific. Yeah, it's like so the sugar, sour cherry.
So I get a lot of that sugar note.
Yeah.
The Jolly Rancher makes sense, but I wouldn't go cherry. I would go green apple. All right, let's give this a taste. This is I can't stop smelling this, but I got to taste it now.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh. It's so gentle. This is like it caresses you. It's very quiet, soft sweetness. A very slight nuttiness in the mid palate, like an almond. Mm-hmm. And it's so gentle the whole way through, but it's always there and always slightly changing.
It's got for 86 proof, it's a really nice finish.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's forever.
It's long and complex and nuanced. It's still going.
By a bug?
Oh, yeah, there are bugs everywhere. We're just going to have to deal with this.
It's fine. They know good bourbon.
Outside.
It's beautiful out here. Are you kidding me?
It's a beautiful night. I don't mind the bugs.
I mean...
I'm having trouble getting specific flavor notes because it's quite gentle. I mean, I don't usually drink things that are 86.6 proof, to be honest. I usually go a little higher proof. So it's very quiet for me. I'm not picking up a lot of specific notes. But that gentle, soft sweetness and the nuttiness in the mid-palate just does everything I want it to from something this low proof.
So, yeah, I get a creamy aspect.
Yeah, there is a creaminess.
Like a pistachio or macadamia, if I'm going to go nutty.
Yeah, see...
I get the creaminess. Walnut even.
I could get macadamia nut. You know, it's like a white chocolate macadamia nut.
Yeah, the cookie from Subway.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was drawing that from.
It's not from Subway. That cookie exists outside of Subway.
But you're right. There's not. I'm not getting tons and tons of specific notes here.
All right, let's move on. Let's try
Okay.
this is the Diamond Anniversary.
Yeah, so this is this one.
This is 13 and 16. Now, this is also a bourbon.
Yes.
This is 13 and 16 years, 91 proof, a little higher proof, a little bit of variance in the year, but it's younger than the Masters that we just tried from 17. Now, the nose is similar, but it's a little sharper. The higher proof shows up to me. I get a little bit more rye on the nose, which is something I usually get from Wild Turkey. I like their high rye mash bill. It shows up for me in a good way.
I get a bit more wood, personally. Brown sugar.
Yeah, I get the brown sugar. I definitely get a little bit more of the wood.
It's not as citrusy. It's not
It's
as
certainly not,
floral.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's a lot more rich, earthy tones. I get some vanilla on this.
yeah.
Like a natural, like vanilla bean.
It's really welcoming to me.
Oh, yeah.
This nose. I like this nose better than the first one.
Oh, I think I do too. The first one is a lot more citrus and floral, but it doesn't feel like home as much as this one. This is like Grandma's kitchen. If this one is Grandma making you a white chocolate...
Yeah.
No, this is still not Subway. You know what it is? This is like a cookie shop.
Yeah.
Where like they have all the cookies.
This is
It's very
homemade
corporate.
cookies.
Yeah, this is Grandma's kitchen. All right. Oh, I don't think I like the taste as much on this one. though.
Really?
Do you like it better?
To me, there's more of the rich flavors in this. It's not as bright.
And maybe, you know, it's definitely not as bright. But for me, a lot of that, the richness is getting muddled. So I think I like clean flavors a lot. And there's a lot of lower base notes and that earthiness and that sweetness. It's like you got the sweet cinnamon, but it's like an earthy cinnamon. And there's a lot more pepper on the finish.
Yeah.
You definitely can, that pepper and that woodiness sticks with you.
It almost seems like if you took the bass note here and the, for lack of a better term, high note here.
Yeah.
Floral, treble, floral of these. Like, it almost seems like these two combined would make a pretty good... I do. Of the two so far, I prefer this one for my palate.
Interesting. I think I probably prefer the first one.
The first one?
But hold on.
But not to the nose, right?
Yeah, see, when you go back and forth between them, the high, soft fruitiness gets lost. The 86.6 can't hold up to the higher proof and the deeper notes. This is sort of like a very delicate, like piccolo solo that is going to get lost if you have the bass playing.
Yeah.
But I really like it for what it is, but it just can't set it up against the big boys.
It's
not an epic pour
it's
in any...
Elijah Craig 18 is what it reminds me of.
It reminds me of that in the sense that it's got the complexity and the delicacy.
It's a really well done bourbon.
Yeah.
It just is a little bit of a lower proof.
Yeah,
and
it's very delicate.
It's,
The whole
it's not
pour is
going
very
to
delicate.
be in a lineup like this. It probably is going to have a hard time, but on its own, it's a good pour.
Yeah, it's a very delicate pour compared to
Yeah.
a lot of these bigger, beastier ones.
Yep.
So let's go into the decades.
10 to 20 year blend.
Now that's a big, 10 to 20
Yeah.
years, that's a big range to blend from.
And I don't have any idea of what percentage is what. You know, if they did 10%, 20, 20%,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Oh, the nose on it is way different. To me, this one has the notes from both. This has the high, stinging citrus sweetness, and it's got that low, earthy bass note. This, to me, is the combo. And I'm getting a peanut note in it, too.
Like candied almost?
Like a honey roasted peanut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like peanut shell or that like
No.
wet peanut you get sometimes from
No.
like Booker's.
No, it's like a honey roasted peanut. God, I love the smell. I think this is my favorite nose so far. Oh man, going back to
The only thing I'm missing is the brown sugar note.
You don't get that on the decades?
No. Compared to the diamond.
Yeah, it definitely shows up. I mean, the brown sugar is super prominent on the diamond,
Yeah.
and the citrus is super prominent on the Master's Keep. This is like all lemon, then this is like brown sugar. But this, to me, is this great
It's the best
combination.
balance, yeah.
It's got the sweetness. It's like a molasses, it's a richer, deeper sweetness with the peanut note. It doesn't have a lot of the citrus, but it does have a little bit.
It's got enough though.
Like
You
a
know
lemon
it's there.
zest. It's there. All right, let's give this a taste.
Okay. That finish, as soon as you swallow it.
Oh, like, shit.
When you swallow, it comes back. Like,
it lingers. That finish lingers so long.
That's
and
really
so prominent.
Nice.
It's got this great like baking spice finish on it to me. It's like cinnamon and a hint of woodiness, and it just sticks around and goes and goes and goes. Oh, wow, it's still going. Go back to the nose on it. Because I got all kinds of baking spices now going back to the nose.
That thing, sorry, I'm still on the finish. It it dances all over the taste buds.
It does.
All over. She just made eyes at me.
Yeah. Nothing sexier than a man drinking whiskey. For the internet.
Talking about it with another man.
Yeah. Just two guys.
Just get two guys touching whiskey. I mean,
two guys touching tips.
Touching tips.
Take a sip like that, a little sip, and smack your lips.
Okay.
If you sit there and chew it, if you take a little sip of that and you smack your lips, I get all kinds of berries. All this sweet fruitiness comes out that wasn't there before. That's incredible. This Master's Keep is really doing it for me.
You mean decades?
I mean all of them, but the decades in particular, yeah.
Yeah, this one is
it's so complex.
In the positive note, it drinks higher than 104, in a good way.
Yeah, it's not
like that finish is like something you'd expect from 120, 125 proof.
Oh yeah, the finish goes on for days. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of finish you're going to get on a barrel strength whiskey. Yeah. That's like high proof.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have the burn.
No, it's the baking spices. It's not it's not ethanol at all. It's
Go back. And see, after this decades, you go back to the Diamond Anniversary, and
I still like the sweetness I get though.
Really?
At first from there,
man. Yeah. See, I don't
enjoy this one as much as this one.
Yeah.
Overall, but I still like the sweetness I get here that I'm not getting from as much from decades. The initial.
It's like a really sharp honey sweetness, or it's almost like corn syrup.
Yeah,
it's a really sugary sweetness.
Yeah. Brown sugar.
And I think a brown sugar is
really.
That's more candied to me. That's almost like rock candy to me.
Okay. I enjoy that a little bit.
I mean, it's good, but I just don't get brown sugar. I get more brown sugar from the decades.
And maybe like a burnt brown sugar, like a charred.
Maybe I'm conflating brown sugar and molasses. I get this really deep, rich sweetness. And you know what? There are different kinds of brown sugar. There's light brown sugar and dark brown sugar. And dark brown sugar is a lot more like molasses. And light brown sugar is a lot more like regular cane sugar or even corn syrup. But the finish on the decades is so long. I mean, for all the benefits of the 17-year and the Diamond Anniversary, they're delicious in their own right, but they do not have the kind of
finish is something special.
Yeah, the kind of weight pulling that finish can do is just unlike anything else.
I'm hoping that there's something more in here.
Please let there be more in my bottle.
2 drops.
Come on, give me a third.
You can do it.
Get there. It's not gonna happen. All right, let's try the Oloroso here.
Man, I feel like I need to cleanse my palate.
Well, go for it.
I'm going to.
Gotta take a water break for Nate here. He's not used to this kind of professional drinking. He's been in the A.
I'm in the double A.
He's in the double A.
Trying to work my way up to the triple A.
He's like Michael Jordan. He's gonna get there someday. Now, you know what? I drink a lot of different whiskeys. I've had a lot of sherry finishes. The nose on this is one of the better ones I've ever gotten off of a sherry finish because it's not a sherry bomb. I do not like sherry bombs. I feel like that is undercutting the purpose of a finish. I don't want a whiskey that is tasting like a sherry. I'll drink a sherry. So you definitely know there's a sherry finish. That sweet wine note is prominent, if subtle. It shows up. You know it's there.
Yeah. Can I give you a weird thing this reminds you of?
Yeah.
Going into the YMCA pool, the chlorine smell. It brought me back to basketball when we had to do training camp.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It has a very cleaner, hints of cleaner.
But it took me exactly to those training when it was chlorine, and it wasn't. I hope it doesn't taste like that.
All right, let's taste it.
So from that note, it does not taste like chlorine.
No, you do get a little bit of that wine up front, but it does not linger and it's not overpowering. It's subtle wine, subtle sherry,
Really smooth.
but incredibly
Really
smooth. Yeah.
smooth.
There's no finish on it though.
No, it goes away.
The finish is just dead. It just
Yeah.
dies. It dies in your mouth.
Yeah, and
It's hard to have a good
fairness,
day when
as-
something dies in your mouth.
Well, and in fairness, oh no, I have a bug in my drink.
Well, just don't think about it.
My decades. I'm gonna drink it anyway. I'm just taking that biatch out. So in fairness, compared to the decades, not much is gonna have that great of a finish.
That's true. Putting this up against the decades is kind of unfair. You're
Yeah.
totally right.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad that it goes away though. Like some whiskeys aren't supposed to have long finishes. Sometimes you want something to get in and get out.
But yeah, it really does get in and get out.
It's like your backdoor man of whiskey.
Yeah, it ain't spending any time in there.
No,
it's a wham bam.
It's coming in to give you a good time and then it's out the door.
It is. There ain't no long-term relationship here.
No.
Like I like it.
Oh, there's this wonderful. So like I know that wine's made from grapes, and I know wine's made from grapes. I know that you're not going to get a grape note in a lot of wines, but something about the Oloroso sherry in this particular pour is giving me grapes.
I get that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, as you started saying it, I was like, man,
there's a
like
grape
it's
note
the
on
green
this.
grape.
Ooh. Yeah, you get that a little bit of sourness.
Yeah.
And the
It's a little more
sweetness,
tart.
a
Yeah.
little tartness.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a green grape.
People are think that. I mean, I used to think when I was watching these that like, man, you're tasting this and like, yeah, you're making it up, and like, no, there's like, to me, that's green.
You have
grape.
it. You've heard it here. I'm not making this up.
Well, geranium.
I'm not making that up either.
But no, this is like green grape, and smells like YMCA pool chlorine. No, going back to it, it's not that anymore. Going back to it, I actually get some of that grape that you talked about.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of an herbal note on the nose. A little bit of honeysuckle. The honey sweetness is definitely there.
Yep. Honeycomb.
A little bit of that grape. A little bit of fruitiness, but not a lot. It's a dark fruit.
Do you get any of the
Little baking spice.
like a grain, like a sweeter grain from it?
I get sort of like a sweet wheat almost.
Yeah.
Like a cereal note. Like it's the maltiness,
Yeah. Blueberry frosted mini wheats.
I kind of expected the Oloroso sherry to be an outlier and to be something that would just too much different from the rest of the pours.
Yeah,
it's not.
I agree. I think it's a nice addition
It
to
is.
the lineup. It's kind of a refreshing addition.
Yeah. It's like someone invited a cool uncle to the party.
And we accidentally lined these up really nicely, like how it worked out.
Yeah.
Working our way to the really nice finish and then almost kind of a break.
All right, let's go to this rye here. This is the Cornerstone Rye.
Yeah.
Do we have an age statement on this?
No. 109 proof.
NAS from what we can tell. 109
So if you
proof.
know, comment below.
There you go. I'm getting the hang of this.
I've watched a video or two.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, oh man, guys. It's like cotton candy. I'm getting this really light, airy sweetness. I mean, I get this really light.
Yeah.
It's like creme brulee or cotton candy, very light, very sweet.
I definitely don't get your typical...
It's not a typical rye.
For me, I don't get that, like, that dill. That's one of my notes I pick out a lot in a rye.
Yeah.
I don't
And I've heard that before. You don't get that here.
Not as much.
You want to try it out the Glencairn?
Yeah, it's everything's a bit more pronounced here.
Yeah.
That smells really freaking good.
Yeah, it smells fantastic.
It's
I hope no flies land on the lens during this filming.
Yeah, well, you can hear us. That's way better than looking at us.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
It's definitely a rye. You can definitely taste the rye notes.
But it's still a more subtle rye than other ryes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got great rye flavor.
Yeah.
This would be a nice intro to rye.
That's absolutely right. If you're not used to or comfortable with the sharp grain notes and the bitterness that can sometimes accompany rye,
Yeah.
this is a great introduction. It's very sweet. It's got the taste and the nose are incredibly similar to me.
Yeah.
You get a lot more of the rye spice on the taste than on the nose, but the same sweetness, the same lightness, even some of that creaminess, they're in both the nose and the finish. So if you want to give somebody a rye who's never had rye before and you want them to know what they're getting as soon as they smell it, this is a great option for that.
In Ohio, I know we can get it. If you find it, it's $200. I wouldn't pay $200 for it. I don't think.
The Cornerstone Rye is $200.
Yeah, $199.99 to be exact.
I would pay $200 for the Masters Decades.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the winner of the night is the Decades. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
If I could find now, I know. I think there's been a few people I've heard that have found this for $160 or $170.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I'm not as big of a rye guy in general.
I'm not either. I think this is a really good rye, something that you could keep on the shelf to introduce people to rye like you've talked about. I think it's a great example of something trying to not be MGP, and it fits within the lineup of the Wild Turkey Masters Keep. This feels like a part of this lineup. I'm actually really impressed how much this whole lineup has continuity.
Yeah.
Like we've got an Oloroso sherry finish, we've got a rye, we've got 3 different proofs of bourbons, all 3 different profiles, all 3 different age statements, but all of them feel like a cohesive
They
unit.
all carry the same undertones.
And that, I mean, that as much as we like to make fun, we made fun of them, but that's a real testament to the Russells. Like this is showing you what a great master distiller can put out. They can make amazingly unique, different pours that all have a consistent note throughout them.
Yep.
I think that's very cool.
So what was your favorite?
I think my favorite has to be the Decades.
Okay.
It's got such a wonderful sweetness, a wonderful, bold, rich, full flavor, and the finish lasts forever. I will say special honorable mention to the 17-year, though. I love that it can be low proof and still so interesting to me, and light and delicate and just fun. What about you? What's your favorite?
No, I'm with you. I think Decades, the finish is really, really nice. Decades is 1 for me, and then I would say the 60th is 2. I just enjoy the profile of that, but I'm not mad at any of them. They're all very, very, very good.
Oh man, going back to that Decades, that is really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I guess to your point, they're all freaking good.
Yeah, they're all really good.
It just doesn't matter. They're all good. And you don't drink one of them and go, whew, that's really different.
Even the Oloroso, which still, everything else here is radically different from an Oloroso sherry finish.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb.
No.
It fits in perfectly.
To me, all it is it runs the same profile.
And then it has a little kick.
But it has a little kick and it's a little smoother.
Yeah.
It's kind of taking the sharp edge off a little bit.
Which is exactly what an Oloroso sherry finish is supposed to do.
Yeah,
it gives you a little wine kick and it smooths out the finish. So
they're good.
These are prototypical examples of what they claim to be. So
get any of them if you can.
Yeah.
Budget wise and availability wise.
Absolutely, I got to agree. So we got a lot of whiskey to drink, guys. In the meantime, y'all keep drinking like professionals. Cheers.